Well, it's worked at last. We've got some people in. Jeff had problems again loading this up, didn't I? It did not want to load for some reason. Anyway, welcome everybody to a drunk fest. No, I had a couple. I went out with a couple of other boaters this afternoon. We were supposed to go for 2 pints at 2 o'clock this afternoon. I've been back on the boat for about 40 minutes now, I guess. We went to 4 pubs and had 2 pints in each one. Yeah, well, it happens, doesn't it? Anyway, tonight we're drinking a Century beer from Titanic. And this is a 4.7%, it looks like. And this is courtesy of Mark. That's Discull. Discull's in the chat. I never know how to pronounce it, but I am. So anyway, this I can't deny that I haven't tried this before. Mark sent me some of these, and they were at my parents' house. And when I was there for 2 weeks, guess what? I drank a few of them. Tastes as good as it did last week and the week before. It was very good. I better be careful on it though, because as I said, I've had a couple already. Oh, I still got this shirt on. I wore it this afternoon. Got to change shirts here. Hang on, we'll just put one over the top. I forgot to do this earlier, folks. That's what happens when you don't do what you think you're going to do. So we'll just throw this one over the top quickly, which was another gift from Mark, which came with the beers, I think. I don't know if it came separately, actually. It might have come separately. It was all at my parents' house, so trying to work it all out what's there. So yeah, I'll get that to there you go. Titanic Brewing Ales. Just a towel I got on there to lean on. I've had a little bit of pain in my arm, and it's a rest down. It's a little bit easier to rest on the towel. You don't want to see the towel. Slurp. Yes, Dave. Being a bit slurpy today. Yeah, so anyway, great to see everybody here. Put a comment in the chat if you haven't already, so I know who you are. And don't forget to like as well. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Right, what else are we going to talk about? Oh, we've got all sorts of things to talk about, haven't we? Lockdowns been a nightmare this year since, when was it? Early July, something like that. I left Sims between lock 65 and 66 on the Trent and Mersey. Got up to Kids Grove, and I came through the top lock at Kids Grove the day before they closed that complete flight from Kids Grove all the way down to Middlewich. Yeah, the 29, 30 locks or whatever it is, all the way down there. got closed. So that was a bit of a nightmare. And Sim sent me some photographs outside his house between the two locks, and there was about that much water in there. Wasn't good. Basically dry. Yeah, and then I came on down, and it's closed everywhere, isn't it? I came up Apperson Lock Flights just a few days before they closed that, and I'm now on that level between Apperson, Coventry Basin. They haven't closed the Sutton stop lock, so I could get all the way to through Rugby to Hillmorton. So that was the area I had available to me to cruise in. They have opened Hillmorton and through Braunston and all that, Long Buckby and Apperson locks. I believe they're open between 11 and 3 daily. I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me on that. Someone's messaging me. But it's only for 2 weeks, and then they're going to reassess the situation. And rumour has it they're going to close them down again. So I'm not going too far. I don't want to get stuck anywhere. So anyway, let's see what you guys got to say in the chat here. Oh, Bull's Head is nice, Dave. It's worth a walk. It is a walk, by the way, so don't get drunk in the Bull's Head because it's quite a walk back. Although it's not so bad walking back because most of it is downhill. Walking there, most of it is uphill, of course. And if you use your GPS to walk there, it takes you round a bloody great loop when there's a footpath straight through. So when you get to the top of the hill, go across the road and don't follow it all the way down around the right and all the way back up around again, back to basically where you were. So you cut through that little footpath opposite. You come out, turn left when you walk through it, and the Bull's Head's about, 50 feet on the left. And the footpath through is about 50 foot. Walk all the way around is a good half mile. That's where Google sent me when I walked up there. And I thought, when I came out, I thought, I saw that footpath. I walked up. I didn't realise where it went to. No, I didn't. You don't realise, do you, when you're following the stupid bloody phone in your hand? Not so sure, Dave. Depends where you're going to be in the country, I think. Rain is going to be around. I see it's raining. In one of the pubs I was in, they were showing somewhere, Liverpool, I think it was, and it was peeing down in Liverpool. But it's dry here at the moment. It's been cloudy for the last few days. We haven't had any sun. I haven't seen the sun for since I've been back on the boat, basically. And I got back on the boat last Saturday. That was okay. That was a fairly bright day. And that was the last time I saw sunshine. Fortunately, whilst I was at my parents' house, most days was fairly sunny. And when I got back on the boat, my batteries were fully charged. And the fridge freezer had been on all the time. So that was really good. Dave's, I see he's been making comments here. So let's have a look. I had to walk to the Dysart Arms, Bunbury, last April. Back to Canal. Blimey, that was a hike. Thanks for the Burslem tip. Yeah, sometimes you've got to be careful, haven't you? It's long way. Not quite straight. It's when you pull it over the top of another shirt, isn't it? You've got to be careful. This is a bloody good beer. Should have taken it out of the fridge a bit earlier. It's a bit warm. A bit cold, rather. Yeah, I don't know what to do, Dave, at the moment. Between now and Christmas, I go to my parents for Christmas, as you know, or probably know. I don't want to get anywhere where I can't sort of get back somewhere where I can get to my parents. Last week I left my boat, or the week before, whenever it was, the week before that, actually, when I left the boat, at wherever it was. Where did I leave it? The brain's not working. It's been beer infested. I left it at Springwood Haven Marina for 12 nights, a cost of 304 quid, I think it was. And I got an Uber from there to my parents' house, and I'd already, the week before, I'd been moored up opposite by the woods, and I looked at Uber and see how much it was, and it was like 68 quid, 69 quid, something like that. Well, that's not too bad. Anyway, the day I booked the taxi to get to my parents' house, I forgot Mondays are expensive, because it was a Monday. Because my brother went on holiday on the Sunday and I went to my parents on the Monday. For some reason, Mondays are expensive. Fridays are as well. Fridays are always expensive because a lot of the Uber drivers are Muslim. They don't work Fridays. I don't know why Mondays are expensive, but for some reason they always seem to be. And it was £104 to get to my parents' house. And when I came back, it was 68 quid. No explanation for that, is there? Nearly 40 quid cheaper, or 36 quid cheaper. So anyways, yeah, so that was there and back. But it had to be done. So I want to be fairly close, because I think my brother will pick me up, which obviously I'll bung 20 quid, and for diesel, and that should be okay. But if I got to get a Uber or a taxi again, I want to obviously make sure I'm not picking up a £200 bill, because that obviously is not ideal situation to go away for 2 days. Yes, I have been in a pub today. Oh, right, Slurpy Dave. This is what I'm drinking. Century by Titanic. It's an anniversary ale. It's pretty darn good. 4.7, I think it says up there. I always turn it the wrong way. I always move it the wrong way, because it's always back to front, of course, what you're seeing. See, when I move it that way, to the left, it's actually moving it to the right in the picture. Yeah, it's all back to front, the image you get from doing a live stream. I'm not sure. Do you see the picture the right way around? It doesn't come out back to front, does it? I don't know. Yeah, so I'm going to be hanging around. I'm in Coventry Basin at the moment. As I said, I got down here and there's a few other boats here I knew I was going to meet up with them today. I didn't realise I was going to go for a little bit of a hike around town and a few beers, but it happens, doesn't it? Can't say no, can you? And that's the colour. That's the colour of it. It's an amber. Yeah, I can't do that. Listen and edit a vlog, because I'm always listening to the vlog as well, so it never really works out very well. That's how come I don't know what's up with my actual editing suite, or is just my computer. I'm not sure, because just lately I noticed, although I don't normally get to hear the video after I've done it, unless I listen to it on my laptop. I was at my parents' last week, and the sound levels on the editing suite are even all the way through. Even sound levels. I make sure of that. I tweak it to make it fairly even. I listen to it on the TV. It's all over the bloody place. I don't know. Perhaps I've got to get a new editing suite. I don't know. But I'm not paying out for that at the moment. Let's get Christmas out of the way. I just bought a new part for my boat today. That was 90 quid nearly. 89.98. So yeah, 90 quid. So a chimney extension. when it gets really, really windy, I do get in the fires, especially when it's not too. If I've got the fire blazing, never a problem because you've got lots of heat going up the chimney. You never get any blowback. But if I just got it going gently because it's not particularly cold outside and it's windy, I get the odd occasion when it blows back and I get smoke in the boat. I hate that. So I just bought an extension on for the chimney about I don't know 18 inches to 2 foot, something like that. Hopefully that'll stop that. Yeah, but that's okay, Lee, having all those screens, but you still can only listen to one thing really at a time, can't you? Otherwise, it gets a bit, you're listening over the top of something else. It doesn't really work very well. It doesn't for me anyway. Perhaps you're more skillful at it than me. I do all my editing on my laptop. And my laptop's getting old and a bit slow. I think I might be getting problems with my laptop, so I might have to think about getting a new one. That's not going to happen this side of Christmas. I've sort of been Googling and look at them, and the one I want is about 800 quid for sensible for editing on. It's got to have a fairly big hard drive, or SSD drive these days. Most of them SSD drives these days, decent ones. This one's got an SSD drive in, but it's only 128 gig, the SSD drive, and over half of that now is taken up with software. With all the stuff you need to run the bloody computer, basically. Oh gee whiz. This bloody software is it all full up with? Oh, all full up with I'm definitely having a problem tonight, aren't I? It's all full up with not HP, it's an HP computer. Microsoft. It's all full up with Microsoft crap. Half of it I never use, but you can't delete it. They won't let you. You cannot delete Microsoft files out of your computer. Well, I can't anyway. It comes up. You don't have authorization to delete this. It's taken up lots of space on my laptop of stuff I don't want. Ugh. Slurpy. Oh, well done, Lee. Built your own. I buy mine. I actually looked at building one years and years ago, and I actually thought it was going to be more expensive to build my own. By the time I bought the case and everything, and all the components, it's more expensive than buying one. But that was a long time ago. I looked at doing that before I moved to America. So it's over 20 years ago. So possibly come down a lot since then. My mate found me a book in an auction called Bradshaw's Canals and Navigable Rivers of England and Wales. Same fellow who did the railway guide on the Michael Portillo programs. It's unbelievably detailed. I have heard of it. Never seen it though. It might be these days, Lee. As I said, when I looked into it years ago, it wasn't. And it's going to take me, I don't know how long to put it together, and it just wasn't. And I did do electrical engineering at college, so I probably could get around to doing it all. Yeah, operating system, yeah. But they won't let you knock out half the blooming crap you don't use on the operating systems. And that was, I noticed now, as I say, I've got 128 gigabyte hard drive, which I think 119 gigabytes is usable. That needs to run itself, doesn't it? And I think 50. I'll have a quick look. What's actually it takes up now. I'll just have a quick look. I'm just going to go to settings here. And It's slow these days. Storage. Installed apps. That's flipping. I've hardly got any flipping data space left on there. 2.41 gigabytes free at the moment. I probably should try and clear some down. It's going to take forever to load this now, isn't it? Because it's so slow. It's got very little space. It's got 58.6 gigabytes of the 119 available. So half of it is taken up with installed apps. And most of that installed apps is Microsoft. Okay, I do have Google Chrome on there, but I think that comes with Microsoft anyway. And I do use Brave. I use Brave whenever I'm watching YouTube. I'm just going to go into temporary files there so I can delete anything. Nope. Nothing in there to delete. So, yeah, so that's not so good. So I'm almost out of space here. I'm just going to go to my videos on the computer. Hope you can still see me while I'm doing this. Should be able to. I'm just going to the videos here. As I know I've uploaded tomorrow's. So we're going to delete that off. Come on. Couldn't even let me open it. Oh, things are getting shitty on this computer. Now it's all locked up. I can't even get out of the page. Oh, there we are. I'm back. And it looks like I've frozen there. Oh, it's not good, is it? Blooming stupid computers. Let's try that again. Trying to free up some space. Delete. Now that's going to be put into the recycle bin. So now I'm going to have to go and empty the recycle bin. Try and get this freed up a bit. It's slowing right down now. It's hardly moving. And we go to storage. Back to temporary files. And now it should have recycle bin in here. Recycle bin 5.59 gigabytes. That'll give me a bit of space. Remove files. Yes. That didn't give me lots, but it gave me something. At least it shouldn't error while we're doing the live stream. Right, what have we got going on here? Hello, Dottie. I've been good, thank you. Michigan's cold, is it? Been camping for a few days. Stupid idea. Some people could say I camp on my boat all the time, but my fire's nice and warm. It was cold when I got back on the boat. What was it? An hour ago? Just over an hour ago. It was only 16 on the boat, but it is 21 now, so it's warmed up to a reasonable temperature. 21 is about 70 Fahrenheit. Hello, Martin. Linux doesn't like my laptop. I did have it on here, and I was having lots of problems with it. I used to use Linux all the time. But I was having problems with Linux. Don't know why. My old laptop was just sitting down there on the side, and the one I had before that had Linux on. I always liked Linux. I don't know why this laptop doesn't like it. It kept freezing, so I took it off, and I was running out of space as well. Ask the fella operating a windmill what type of music he likes. He was a huge metal fan. Oh, the windmills these days are plastic, aren't they? Fiberglass or some crap they make them out of. Use hard drive SSD. I take it you mean. Made a car from old washing machine parts. Going to take it out for a spin tomorrow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not. I don't use. Well, this is. I do most things. I don't use Microsoft for a lot of stuff. I use Brave for a lot of the internet browsing and that sort of thing. I think my computer's just dying. It's what 8.5 years old. I think it's just come to the end of its tether. Uh, yeah, I mean it's time for an upgrade. But it's gonna have to wait till after Christmas, especially the way things are going at the moment. I spent far too much money recently. As long as the stream's working, that's all that matters, isn't it? If you're seeing the stream okay, it's not saying it's buffering, so that's all good news. It's when it starts saying it's buffering, or it comes across at the bottom sometimes. Um, your your broadband width is too narrow to do so. It says sometimes, but as long as that's not happening, we'll just drink beer instead. Yeah, but USB drives aren't fast enough, are they? When you're doing a lot of stuff, they're not that fast. And I got some. The fastest ones you can get here. Some of them, they're still slow. They're not as fast as an SSD drive. And when you're trying to edit from them, it's bloody slow. Because I tried putting them on flash drives before, and I've got a couple of good hard drives here as well. And even the hard drives, I'll get one out. It's dusty. I use hard drives, and I retrieve some stuff. After I've had some on the laptop for over 6 months, I dump it to a hard drive, or yeah, or whatever these are called. Anyway, I dump it to one of these external hard drive, and I leave. So I keep everything on these. I got two or three of them kicking around here. This one's a 2 gig, and I think my other two are terabyte. I think my other two are 4 terabytes. Everything's on them. And when I connect these up, and I want to go back and I'll insert some, and I say this is where I was, 200 years ago, and I put a bit in. It takes forever to load from there into the editing suite. So I I don't do too much of that too often. It's just too blooming slow. And so I don't want to upload it again back onto my laptop. If I was to do that, it probably wouldn't be so bad. I'm editing it from there as well in the editing suite, or it's using that to edit from, and it just takes a blooming ever. Which pubs have I been into today? Uh, Started off in the Weatherspoons, whatever it's called. You probably know the name of it more than I do. Can't remember what it's called. Then went to two pubs I've never been to. No, I went to one pub I've never been to before in town. I can't remember what that was called as well. Then we come back up round to Hopster Moor, had a couple of pints in there. And when you were here, I wouldn't have been open, but just across the bridge, just past the machine mark there, the Stag has reopened, and we ended up with 2 pints in there before walking back or staggering back across the bridge, the bouncy bridge, you know the one. So yeah, we came back across the bridge. Yeah, so I can't remember the name of the pubs now. But I said Google it, Matt. I could probably put them up. Didn't go to the windmill. I wanted to go to the windmill, but they didn't. They said it's too expensive. They didn't want to go there. I like the windmill. Hops the Moor. They didn't really want to go there as well because they said that was too expensive. But I said, come on, I got to have a choice of one of the bloody pubs we're going to. There's four of us, and they'd all had a choice of pubs. I said, at least I get one choice of a pub, surely, where I like the beer. So we went to Hopster Moor. And I bought the first round in Hopster Moor, so they couldn't complain too much at that. Flying Standard, that's it. This is the spoons. You see, I knew you would know, Dave. Yeah, I wanted to say Hopster Moor I like, and I wanted to go to the windmill, but I got outvoted. Well, I couldn't choose them all, could I really? So yeah, I can't think of the name of the other one. It's down near the old cathedral. I can't remember what it's called. I didn't really take much notice. I just, as long as they sell beer, you know, that's the main thing, isn't it? Yeah, I don't need a gaming PC. Gaming PCs are fast for loading certain things, aren't they? They load graphics very fast. They're not always so good for doing editing on because the software is different. Well, the way I know as it. See, back in the day, computing was my game. I was a programmer back in the day, so that was a long time ago. I haven't been doing programming since 1988, but there you go. Actually, it might have been before that, about 86 I stopped programming. Found it very boring. You've done well to get 8 years out of it. Yeah, I think so. I think so. They don't last forever, do they? And I took it to a place in Atherstone, little independent store there, which do PCs and they do repairs and all sorts of things. And I got them to look at it, and if they could clean it up for me, perhaps make it faster. And they said, as I'd already cleaned it up myself, um, and they said there was nothing really they could do. They said it was just reaching the end of its tether, basically. So I'm not going to spend out on more stuff than put on. I'm just going to use it for now, get through to somewhere towards my birthday, probably next year, at least through to February if I can, and save up some money and buy a new one. Yeah. My parents normally give me a nice bit of pocket money for Christmas, so it will come out of that. Oh dear. Oh, that I can't stand Chimp. I think it's one of the worst editing programs I've ever come across. But each their own, isn't it? Each their own. I think it's awful. I downloaded it. It takes up so much space, number one, on your laptop. It takes up, it actually took up about 26 or 27 gigabytes of data or space on my laptop. And I didn't have that, no, on my SSD drive. Now, I could have put it onto the hard drive, but then it worked so slow anyway. And it was horrible. Um, it it doesn't, I don't know. Each their own. I know a friend of mine uses it and he swears by it. But I just couldn't get on with it. I really couldn't. And you've got to really and everything. Nothing's really saved properly, is it? I don't know. I just yeah. I just couldn't get on with it. But each their own, isn't it? You know, what I use, I bought it just after I bought this laptop. So the editing suite I use is old as well. Can't remember what else I use. It's what else I use? So I have a terrible problem tonight, aren't I? What is it? It is won't even load now, so I can read it. Oh, gee whiz! Come on, Bear, just wake up. NCH software is what I use, and I do everything in VideoPad. I'm part of the NCH software suite, and I've got used to it. I expect that's the reason. I've upgraded it a couple of times. I haven't upgraded it for about 3 years. There's nothing really more I want on it. The last time I did an upgrade, it just downloaded. I spent an extra whatever it was, $28, I think it was, and it's an Australian company, so it's 28 Australian dollars. I think it cost for the last upgrade I put on it, and it wasn't worth it. It really wasn't. There's just a load of stuff I never used. I didn't really want. It's great if you want to do green screens and all that, but I really like to do all that. What you see is what you get with me. I don't need to do green screens. Yeah, so I didn't bother. I didn't put all the lights on tonight. I forgot to do that. Oh well, it's not too. You'll see me, I think, anyway. That's the main thing. Or probably don't want to see me. Probably I should turn the lights off and put all the backlights on. Let me catch up on. So it wasn't the Golden Cross. I've been in the Golden Cross before, and it wasn't that I went into. But yeah, there's a debloat program that works really well, and it's free, open source. Only problem is I can't think of the guy's name. It'll come to me. LOL. Yeah. Well, let me know, Martin, if you can at any point in time. Hello, Dottie again. Yeah. You can always drop me an email with it, or leave a message in one of my videos, especially if it's the latest one or something like that. It's a bit odd just lately. If I look on my phone, I get all of the updates messages rather, the old ones and everything. Nowadays on my laptop, for some reason, unless I actually click onto the bell icon to see all the things in there when I'm in it, it doesn't automatically put them into the other file where it should be, where things I haven't seen. So I don't know what's up with this blooming thing. It's the laptop or YouTube. I don't trust YouTube half the blooming time. And I just froze then, didn't I? Because I clicked on something else. Shouldn't have done that. Wasn't a good idea. But yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, it's trying to load that now. Don't know why. Now it's trying to do too much. YouTube Studio. Before it'd do that perfectly. I could click here and there and everywhere. It wouldn't be a problem. So I don't think it's the internet speed. I think it's the laptop. Just can't cope with it all. So it's definitely a case of, if I can't get it sorted out, getting a new laptop. Fast cars and motorbike. Hi everyone, new to your channel, just started out. Oh, thank you, and welcome aboard. It's just informal chats on here. Talk about anything to do with boating. I don't know an awful lot about fast cars these days, although I worked in the motor trade at one point in time. And I know even less about motorbikes. I haven't had a motorbike since 1976. I've been 77. 76, 77. So yeah, cars. I worked for a Volkswagen Audi for a while, so I've driven a couple of reasonably fast cars. But yeah, I now drive one of the slowest vehicles in the world. You know, a narrowboat. Much more down to me. I love the speed. Dead slow. Suits me. Anyway, Mark, what are you drinking tonight? Yeah, it's going to get that way. 8 years old, it's time for an upgrade. And I think they're designed after a while not to work, aren't they? I really think they got built-in obsolescence. Actually, what I shouldn't do is ever allow them to download updates. I think every time you download an update, they build in something else to slow it down. But there you go. On telephones or mobile phones or cell phones, whatever you want to call them, I know that the iPhone, didn't they? They actually got taken to court over that built-in obsolescence, where they're deliberately designed to actually make the batteries not last. So, and of course, and on an iPhone, they glue the batteries in, so to replace them is extremely difficult. So yeah, they built an obsolescence into the batteries, because they basically got told, they basically got taken to court once before of building an obsolescence into their software. So they built into the batteries, and they got taken to court again over that, as far as I understand. Yeah, tech does evolve, and obviously, all the stuff that goes with it. As I say, this laptop's, when I bought this in America. When I was over in America, I actually got it from Walmart in Morris, Illinois, and it was about $700 or $800 when I bought it. And it's an HP Pavilion, and at the time it was one of the top of the range sort of. Well, not top of the range, but it was a good laptop. It had a SSD drive, which were pretty new then. They weren't in every computer then, or every laptop. And it had a terabyte regular hard drive. So it was pretty good at the time. And when I first got it, when you clicked the start button, it would start up in 9 seconds. Now it takes about 35 seconds. So yeah, it's even got slow there. And to shut down, it used to be instant. As soon as you click the shut down, it just went down. Now you can sit there for a minute waiting for it to just close down. So things have got slow. Well, yourself, fast cars. Is that what you film yourself? Chris Titus is his name. He writes some great software. Plus, he's on YouTube. Let me just grab. I've got a pen here. I'm just going to write that down. I've got a piece of paper. I can't show you the piece of paper because it's got a password written on it already. Oh, I've got to show you. Do you know what? I'm all behind, aren't I, Mark? Yes. Titus. Well, guys, I know I did a video on it, but here it is. Look at that. My new tiller pen. Courtesy of Mark. It weighs a blooming ton. Yeah. What are we going to call it? The Flying Goose? It's nice, isn't it? It's only been in the tiller for about 1 minute so far. I wanted to show it on here first. Well, yesterday I was going to put it in, and I've left it sitting here by the computer, well, on the seats here. And I put my shoes on, and I've been walking through the woods, and they're a bit muddy, and I couldn't be bothered to take my shoes off basically to walk back in here and get it in, so I didn't carry mud all the way in the boat. This morning, I deliberately thought, as I'm doing the live stream again tonight, I left it in here on purpose and used the old one because I thought if I take it out the back, I know what will happen. I'll get into the live stream and I won't have it with me. I was left it out the back, so I brought it in with me. So there she is. I think it's absolutely wonderful. So it weighs a ton. I think it's bronze. Could be wrong. It feels like it's got that touch of bronze. But beer time. Check the fire. Fire's going okay. We're up to 22.4 in here now, so it's warmed up quite nicely since I got back on the boat when it was only 16. And I've got 2 shirts on now, so I'm quite warm. Yes, Flying Goose. Yeah. Yes, I must admit, Dolly, I think it looks very, very good. And now when I was going to say when I move tomorrow, I'm not moving tomorrow. I'm staying here tomorrow. It's supposed to be raining it's supposed to be dry tomorrow. I'm staying here tomorrow because Sunday I'm meeting Steve Tyrrell. Some of you might know Steve Tyrrell, Narrowboat Precious Jet. We're meeting here. He moors his boat just up the canal from here at I know Dave knows Steve because we all went out for a beer together, didn't we? Yeah. Anyway, Steve has sort of got the wrong side of Buckby locks and Braunston locks, and he's back at He was back at rugby this morning when I was speaking to him. Well, I say speaking with, Timmy's happy, and he was expecting to get back today to his mooring at Swan Lane Marina, which is a mile up the canal. And we're going to meet here Sunday afternoon for a beer. So yeah, it gives me a day to sober up so I can go back out again. Yeah, I think it's bronze, Dottie. It's got that touch of bronze. Bronze is not as cold as brass, and it's sort of got that feeling to it. So I think it's bronze. I could be wrong. It's got the weight of bronze. Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful though. It's got to weigh the best part of a kilo, or it's over a couple of pounds. You know what I mean? So it's not made out of one of the cheaper metals, which is going to fall apart in 10 minutes. Yeah, it's absolutely, I don't know, it's absolutely wonderful. Yeah, it's got that luster and feel to it like bronze does. Say, I don't know for certain, but definitely feels like that. Well, I'll check your channel out. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to read down, trying to make sure I haven't missed what people were saying. Yes, the market turned out absolutely brilliant. I keep hearing a little bit. I don't think the microphone on the laptop will pick it up. Where I'm moored in the basin, I'm normally more on the as you come in on the left hand arm. I'm on the right hand arm, and the building here next to me, which is not. It's really it's that way as I'm looking at it. It's that way. Anyway, the building next to me. I didn't think the bottom area had been used for years. I've never seen any lights on it before tonight. Anyway, there's a college band in there practicing. I think they need a lot of it. That is practicing. They sound bloody awful. Yeah. Anyways, keep practicing, guys. But you keep hearing a sort of I don't know, something which doesn't sound quite right. It keeps, although I haven't put the my double sort of glazing back in yet along these windows here. I put in some of them, but I left a few windows in case it gets warm, and I want to open up a few windows still. There's only, I think, 1, 2, 3, I think, without the back in now, just in case I want to open them up. But yeah, so of course I'm sat by the window here, which doesn't have, and that keeps an awful lot of sound back. I know when I've been moored up near railway lines, you get very little sound through them, where normally if they're not in, it's quite noisy. They did a great job, Mark. 3 months when they would work. He's done an absolute great job. So I think it's unique. I've never seen one like it before. So I think it's pretty unique, which is rather nice. I think I'm going to get a split ring to put in through here. So if anyone comes along, they can't quickly steal it if I'm not looking. With a split ring in there, it does slow people down. But yeah, absolutely beautiful. Ugh. Well, has anyone got any questions? I've been rabbiting away. Have you got any questions really you want to ask me before I fall asleep? So I can see that happening quite early tonight. No idea why. But yeah, let's check on my fire. I think I'm going to have to go and put another log on the fire in a minute as well. It's been an hour and a quarter since I last put any wood on it. I found some more wood this morning. That was nice. I'm looking at all the boats down here in the marina. Just about everywhere's got wood piled up on their boats. It's all around. What's my favourite canal? Hello, Victoria. Is that Victoria? Is that the name of your boat, or is that the name, your name? Just a question. My favourite canal. Probably the Cordon Canal. It's one of my favourite canals. And funny enough, it's when you get to the Leek branch on the Cordon Canal, and if you go onto the Leek branch and moor up about 100 yards onto the Leek branch, might not even be that, and you look over and you wake up, especially on a sunny morning in the middle of summer, the sun comes up over the hill and hits your boat and shines straight down the valley to the River Churnet. And it is one of the most wonderful, quiet, peaceful places I've ever moored up. It's just stunning. Yeah, okay, some of the views in some other places are better. When you get up on the Llangollen towards the end. Some of the views are stunning. But it's so busy up there, puts me off. The cordon is not particularly busy. It's a little bit hard work up through some of the locks. They're not the easiest locks in the world, and a couple of the swing bridges are a right pain in the derriere. But I love it up there. I like a lot of canals. Oh yeah, the Trent and Mersey as a canal. I love the Trent and Mersey Canal. It's got everything you could ever want on the Trent and Mersey Canal. It's got all the history of all the little villages you go through, like Stone, where it is. That's where they actually devised the Trent and Mersey Canal from. You go through Stone, and you can go and see the little place where they actually did it all. And there's the locks on the Trent. Yes, there's a lot of locks on the Trent and Mersey Canal, which a lot of people don't like. But I think locks make a canal. I'm here at the moment. I came past yesterday, past the Ashby de la Souche Canal, or Ashby as it's basically known as these days. And people rave over the Ashby Canal. It's okay, but it's nothing special. There's no locks. That's what a lot of people like about it. There's no locks. The views aren't. You go through countryside, but there's no stunning views down the side of hills or anything like that. It's all pretty flat farmland. Yeah, I don't see anything to rave over about the Ashby Canal. Don't get me wrong, it's worth doing, and I'm not going to say it's horrible or anything like that. But yeah, Macclesfield, I like the Macclesfield. I think some of the bridges on the Macclesfield Canal are the most spectacular bridges in the world, or on the canal system anyway. The turnover bridges, or as they know them up there as snake bridges, the way they've been built out of stone are just stunning. And the sweeping curves up and around as you go up and around and back over and to do the turnover with the horse, absolutely stunning. I love that up through there and going through all the way up through to the then up onto the Peak Forest and then run at Marple and then running right on the Peak Forest to the end up to Bugsworth Basin and Wadey Bridge. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Some of the views along there are stunning as well. You really do cling to the mountain, or the mountain is a hill, I guess. I don't know if it's classed as a mountain or hill. But some of the views down there through the valleys, absolutely wonderful. And also when you first get onto the Macclesfield Canal and after leaving the Trent and Mersey, you go across Pool Aqueduct. That's only a small little aqueduct you go across. But if you look at it quite carefully, the brickwork on it is absolutely amazing, all the stonework. And then you get up to what's the town up there, Congleton, and that's where the snake bridges start, as Congleton. And the views around Congleton and the walk down to Congleton's really, really nice. Yeah, it's just, and then when you go out the other side of Congleton and you go on the embankment and you look across, and there's the viaducts going all the way across the valley, brick built viaduct, and they're still in use, and you see the trains going across. Some of the views are absolutely wonderful. But yeah, and years ago, I haven't done it recently. I like the going up across the Pennines on the Leeds to Liverpool. When you get up to the top of there's some amazing features. You basically come along like this on one side of the canal, and then it goes around the mountain, and you come back this side of the canal, and you think, I was over there an hour ago. It's take me, and it's like 100 yards across. Amazing. But yeah, I love most of the canals. It's your name, okay, Victoria. I didn't want to call you Victoria and find out it was something else as the name of your boat. You never go. Okay. Our boat is another smart move, by the way. Oh, good, good, good. There's no locks, no. Yeah, some of the scenery. Well, I think Dolly's seen a lot of my videos and some of the scenery. Oh, to be honest with you, the camera doesn't do it justice. Some of the scenery, some of the views, the camera does not do it justice at all. Uh, uh, just being there in some of these places, you know. When I went up onto the Cordon Canal, it's not very long. I can't remember how long it is now, 20 miles, something like that. 19, 20 miles. And you think, okay, even going slow, 3 or 4 days up, 3 or 4 days back, week. I was on there for 2 months. I liked it so much. So yeah, I will go again. Trouble is, there's so many places I still haven't been to, and I let it go this year. Well, this year was basically, although I did early in the year to get to Sim's house on the Trenton Mersey, because I went an unorthodox way to get there. I did a lot of things I've never been before, and when I came off of the Coventry Canal, where I've just come from, I'm still on the Coventry Canal, down to and when I got to Paisley, I went onto the Birmingham Paisley Canal towards Birmingham, but rather going into Birmingham, I stayed on the sort of basically it's a ring road, but a canal. Sounds nutty, I know, ring roads, but it goes onto the Tame Valley Canal. There's loads of blocks up there. Steve helped me up there, and Yvonne, his girlfriend. That was really, really handy. Then you go up the top, and then there's no locks then for quite a long way until you get on to what's the canal? It's not the Wednesbury Canal. It's the doesn't matter what it's called anyway. It begins with W, and I can't put the name of it. And you're only on it for a short distance, but there's 8 locks you go up, and then onto the Wednesbury Canal. That's where I hit every bit of weather possible that day: snow, sleet, hail, rain, and sunshine, and cold, and windy. But I had to get up those locks because they were closing them 2 days later, so I couldn't really mess around and not get up them. Onto the Wednesbury Canal, then onto the, I think it was the new main line or the old main line, new main line, I think it was, Birmingham line. Then on down through the tunnel, Neverton Tunnel, to Dudley number 1 canal, Dudley number 2 canal, which I've never been on any of these canals before in my life. Then on to the next canal. But the locks there are all different, and I've never seen lock gates like them before. They're really weird because rather than being wide and not so deep, or being basically square, these are not very wide but very deep. So to walk across the top of them, because there's no walk boards on them, you have to walk across the top, and they've got a little handrail which is about this high, and try and lean down. I'm almost on my hands and knees crawling across these blooming locks. And of course, it was cold because this was February. Yeah, they're a little bit scary at times, and I have lots of those locks to do. I can't remember what canal then it went down onto, then onto the Staffs and Worth. I did the Staffs and Worth, Shroppy, Middlewich, and back up the Trenton Mersey to Sim's place. And yeah, that was there's some, going up round the top end of Birmingham. Basically, I couldn't believe how nice it was. The people are so friendly, unbelievable. It's the Black Country you go through, and I went very, very close to the Black Country Museum, which I was going to stay and go and have a look at, but I had to go up 3 locks, back the 3 locks to get up there, and there was nowhere to moor at the bottom for me to walk up. So I had to go up there with the boat, and I just decided I couldn't be bothered to do those 6 locks. It was wet and cold and miserable, and I've been stopped so much because of the rain. It was so wet this spring, or not spring, this winter. Yeah, I just didn't do it. I might try and go back there one day, but I've got so much I want to see. So many canals I haven't been on, and I'd like to see some of them. I'd like to actually go back down south. I know the Basingstoke Canal quite well. I used to fish it very, very regularly. I used to fish an awful lot of competitions on the Basingstoke Canal. I used to do a lot of match fishing down there. And I'd like to take my boat down there. So that's what I'd like to do. Come January the 1st, I might cancel my canal and river trust license and get a gold license for a year, so I can go onto all the waters besides the canal and river trust waters without buying separate licenses. It covers you for all of them. So I might do that in January. The only problem is where at the moment I pay monthly for my license. Well, I pay for 10 or 11 months of the year. I think it's 11 months these days. Monthly by direct debit, you have to pay the whole lot in one hit. So I've been saving up to do that. So I'm hoping I've got enough money around. I want to buy another laptop as well. Yeah, everything. So anyway, I want to buy a gold license so I can go onto all the waterways. That covers you for the, Environmental Agency waterways as well. And at the moment, if I want to go on to just like the Thames just to cut across to the go through Reading and Newbury, Kent and Avon Canal. That cost me 120 quid just for that short bit. And you can do it in a day quite easily. Because although I have actually heard since you can actually get 48-hour licenses again. When I applied or looked for it, you could only get, I think it was a 14-day license or something like that. Was the smallest license you can get. That's ridiculous. I only want to be on there for a day. So anyways, I didn't do it when I did it because I thought I'm not spending that money. And I might just look at doing some of these things, going down the Thames and things like that. It's all areas I know growing up and been all around that area, but not boating. So it'd be nice to see some of these places like Sonning and all these places down the Thames. I fished many a time years ago. I used to have all sorts of matches down there, but I don't know it by boat. So that's perhaps a plan for this year, before I get too old to do it. We're on the Birmingham Fazy last week. Curdworth locks were interesting because 2 pounds had been drained. Yeah, Curdworth locks can get a bit funny, especially up around about where the HS2 line goes across. That can get a bit fraught up there. And when you go up past the Dog and Doublet, I don't know which direction it was going, but if you're going up them, well, it's the first lock after going past the Dog and Doublet. That's very interesting if you're a single-handed boat. Although I know now because a CRT person that watches my channel told me it's been repaired. But last year when I went up there, they got a lovely sign up saying, "Please use the top gates. They're sort of strapped off the boardwalk for walking across the board across for the walk crossing across the lock. Please use lower boardwalk. This one's dangerous and liable to fall off or something." What's that effect? I'm paraphrasing here a bit. But when you're single-handed and you just brought your boat into the bottom of the lock, guess what? The locks are open. How can I use the walk to get across? And they're single locks there. Remember, they're single lock gates up there, aren't they? They're not 2 small gates at the bottom. There are 2 small gates. I could walk across one and step across and get across that way. But I can't do it when it's you got the full 7-foot lock gap. I can't step across 7 foot, or it's 7'4" or whatever it is. I can't do that. My legs aren't quite that long. So yeah, that was an interesting thing. So I couldn't use the top one to get across. Oh, and there's nowhere around. You once you're on the non-towpath side. So the lock ladder, of course, there's the other thing. The lock ladder is on the non-towpath side to climb up out of the boat, which they put them. Most of them are there on the non-towpath side, so kids don't play around with them, climb down and all the stupid things like that. So yeah, I did send a letter to the CRT complaining about it at the time, telling them how dangerous it was and how stupid their sign was. That didn't really help a single-handed boater out because you can't do it. So anyway, what I ended up by doing was reversing the boat out of the lock. So the back of the boat was out of the lock, jumping off the back of the boat onto the bank on the non-towpath, on the towpath side with a rope, and then pulling the boat in with the rope into the lock so I could close the gates. Yeah. Not good. But yeah, get through Curdworth locks, and then you got Minworth Green, the 3 locks there. Yeah, I went up through those. I was up through those. This was not long after Christmas. I was doing these. It had been January. I did them. I did have a pint in the dog and doublet, of course. Yes, it was exactly, and it was a nightmare. Yeah, it, you get used to it being single-handed. As long as everything's working okay, it's not a problem. Long as you've got log ladders to climb out of and things like this, and all the gates work, and you can walk across from one side to the other, it's not a problem. You get into a mindset for doing it, and you take your time, and that's basically part of the course is not rushing because obviously it could be dangerous otherwise. Uh, the hardest lock probably on the whole network is the iron lock as you go down to Chester on the Shroppy, and the iron lock there because it's got no lock ladders in it. And after they reclad it in iron, you can't get 2 boats in that one either, so you can't wait around and share it with another boat. But me being me, I wait around for another boat to come along and say, if you lock me down and get me through, or lock me up and get me through, I'll then do the same for you. I'm more up and then I'll do the same for you. And I've never had a problem. In actual fact, both times when I've said that, they said, "Oh no, we're okay. We've got crew. We'll lock you down, and we can do ourselves." So I never even actually had to help them. But I always offer. I'll always say, "No, if you do it for me, I'll do it for you." But you can't always get round that, can you? It doesn't always work. Mooring's easy. I just always when I always make sure I can get the back of the boat. I don't worry about the front too much. I always swing the back of the boat in so I can just step off onto the bank with the centre rope and just pull the boat in. That's not too much of a problem. As I get older, it might become a problem because of the weight of my boat. That's 22 tons. But otherwise, it's not a problem. Funny you should say about being Victoria and says your name or the name of the boat, because the boat I am moored next to at the moment is called Victoria. That's what made me ask. I was going to say, are you Helen? Because I know it's Helen and Dave on the boat next to me. Sometimes you're talking to people and they could be right next door to you. You don't know, do you? Yeah. Yeah, you learn to do it all on your own. It comes second nature in the end. And yeah, it's funny because when I first started boating, I never even thought about being able to do it on my own. I went on a friend's boat where there's always 3 or 4 of us on the boat at a time. So it was never a problem. We had people going ahead, setting all the locks and all this. And, if we're doing a set of locks, you always had somebody, if there was 4 of us, had one person going ahead, setting the locks and opening the gates. And then you had another person doing the lock, and another person closing everything up and coming up behind you. So, yeah, it was never thought about trying to do it all on your own. Obviously, it's slower than, if you've got a lot of crew. I'm saying that, I won't go there. I've caught people up before now on my own that are so slow. They've got like 3 or 4 crew on the boat, and I catch them up sometimes. And I'm not rushing. I never rush. Never in a hurry. But must be really, really slow. Right. I don't know if anyone's got any more questions, but we've been pulling along here now for well over an hour. I don't know how long this stream. Hour and 16 minutes we're up to, according to the thing up in the corner. If nobody else has got anything more, I need to put a log on my fire. It's getting low, so I need to go up there and put a log on the fire soon. Although it's a nice comfortable 23 in the boat right now. It's about 74, 75, something like that. So yeah, it's nice and warm again in the boat. It was blooming cold when I got back on the boat at 16. Yeah. Anyway, fire doesn't take long to warm the boat back up. So yeah, don't know if anyone's got any questions. If not, I'm going to wind this live up. There is a video tomorrow, just to let you all know. There is one that will be out at 4 o'clock tomorrow. I can't remember where it was. Oh, yes, I can. Talk about Fazeley Junction. It's from Fazeley Junction to Polesworth. It's tomorrow's video. Yeah, it's always great to chat, and always great. I like the live streams. What I love is if you could actually have interaction chat, so I could hear what you're saying rather than just typing. But I guess that's a bit too much. Then everybody would talk and you'd never hear a thing, would you? But you could like go doing it in whatever it's called, Teams or something like that, where you can mute everybody and just allow one microphone at a time. Put your hand up to talk, sort of thing. But anyways, yeah, it's I like doing these live streams with people. It's always great. And I got a big shout out to Mark, of course, for everything he's supplied for me. Shirt, new tiller pen, and lots of beer. It always goes down very, very well. Thanks, Lee. I will try and keep things going. Say this year's been a wipeout. Basically, I've had, since I got to Mark's Sims this year and put the new engine in and all that sort of thing. I've done very little cruising from there to here, and back up to Atherstone, back down to here, and back up to Atherstone, back down to here. Yeah. Yes, you have a great weekend too, Dottie. Enjoy the lovely warmth of Michigan. Be snowing there soon. A little bit warmer for Mark down in the Carolinas. A bit warmer down there, Mark, isn't it? I would have guessed. Thank you, Mark. I should imagine it's a bit warmer down there still. You're a lot further south. Been to Michigan a few times, so I know what it's like up in Michigan. The Tabor Hill and the Round Barn come to mind. Both wineries. Oh, and I also went up to the brewery. What's it called? Can't feel what it's called now. Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, New Holland Brewery. I've been up to the New Holland Brewery. And yeah, enjoyed myself a few times in Michigan. I actually did the whole UP once, all the way up, all the way around, and across the Mackinac Bridge in the fog in the middle of the summer. So yeah, that was a bit. There was only that one car onto the bridge every 1 minute, so it was a bloody great queue to get onto it because of the fog. And you had the maximum speed you was told to do was, I think they said was 10 miles an hour if I remember rightly. So yeah, that was a fun trip. But anyways, that was a long time ago now. It's probably pushing 20 years ago. Wow, time flies. Anyway, folks, I'm going to end the stream. I thank you all for joining me, and I'll catch you all another time. I suppose I ought to say it. That just leaves me to say thank you very much for watching. Trevor out. I'll find my mouse now.